What up, everybody? Happy New Year! Woo! Oh, hey, look who we got. Hey, Mike.
Aloha. Where'd your hair go?
Where'd my what? Oh, hair. Yeah. Who needs hair? Wrong person to say that to.
Yes, indeed.
Let me get this. Well, I didn't know what I'd do on this stream. I figured I might draw if no one shows up, but
I'll draw with you. I'm working on a political parody comic book.
Well, nice. Okay.
Of all things. Me
talking about political parody.
Politics. So weird.
Who's it for? Is it like top secret?
I haven't talked too much about it. I've shown the first 3 pages. I actually drew the first 3 pages live on Saturday. I didn't draw the whole things. I did the breakdowns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw them. Hold on.
I didn't. I've been so unplugged. I went on vacation and was out of the country, and it was just like
how did all the printing fixes?
I finally got the books today. So I mean, not the books, not the bulk, but I got the reprinted advanced copies, and they look good. So assuming all the bulk is the same, they're putting it on a boat now and shipping it. So I should get it like middle of February, and then I'll have to figure out how to ship it out.
Right.
Recruit the crew again. So
you never know, man. These things happen. So
yeah.
So they're just gonna stick you with a bunch of messed up books.
Yeah, I pretty much have a bunch of messed up books in my garage right now.
And they're in the middle of the series, so you can't sell them.
It's weird. It's like I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of them, and either way, it's just going to be a massive amount of work. Oh, here's Kazoo.
Hey.
Welcome.
I'll stop in here for a few minutes. I was about to start working. Well, I guess you guys are working.
Yeah. Mike, do you know Kazoo?
I do not.
Kazoo Kivyushi. He's the mastermind behind Flight and Amulet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are you from, Kazoo?
I'm in Woodinville, Washington.
Oh, cool.
Let me do this so you guys can be full screen and not my drawings. Well, what are you up to, man?
I am. I just got back from being in Southern California with my family there, and had the kids hang out with them, their cousins and stuff. So it's been good.
Christmas break.
Where in SoCal? I'm in San Diego.
Oh, you're in San Diego? Yeah, I was in Irvine. And,
okay, cool.
Just went to go visit friends in Pasadena as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, what did you guys do over Christmas? Did you guys do anything? Was that your Christmas?
No, we were here for Christmas, and then we flew down right after, like 2 days after Christmas, to get the kids together.
Got it. Okay.
So for Christmas now, we just stayed home. It's pretty, that's what we needed.
Yeah. That's what we've been doing ever since we moved to Idaho. But then this last year, this Christmas, we went to the Caribbean where Shelly's parents are at. And so it was like the completely most different Christmas I've ever experienced. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about what happens in the Caribbean during Christmas.
Oh, no.
It's just party all night long. Like the whole town is filled with people and giant speakers are towed around on these trucks and people are just all over the place.
Wow.
And it's like
Christmas is a big
all
deal.
night long.
There's Mardi Gras.
It's pretty much like that, but more risky. It's just crazy. So anyway, it was a whole different experience. It was kind of eye-opening.
Yeah, that's good. And then being out in this, it was probably pretty sunny out there, huh?
Oh yeah, we went to the beach a lot.
Nice breakaway from Idaho.
Yeah, that's what happened to my hair too. I had a haircut there.
Oh, okay.
My best when you first saw.
Was it long? Was it still long?
2.5. Oh, my hair? No, it was. I mean, it was long, and then I cut it shorter, and then it was about 1.5 inches or so, and then I shaved it pretty much at the barbershop there. So I wanted to experience. I told him make me look like a local, and I don't think it worked, but At least I was closer.
In the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and New Year's was the same thing. It was like party from Christmas all the way to New Year's, and even a couple days after, and then.
Oh, wow.
So there was it's not like I participated in the parties all the time, but at least wanted to see them, and then a lot of it was just trying to sleep while the noise was just echoing through the whole island, and so it was interesting. I shot a bunch of videos, so I'd like to actually post a video about it, because Chelly got into the parade. She had all the feathers and all kinds of stuff and was dancing for like 8 hours. It was just like, it's such a weird, ridiculously different situation. So that's that. It was fun though. It's like fuel for storytelling. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, you have to experience life to feel things for your stories. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, everything can be fuel for storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually that often when I'm amongst younger storytellers, that's been my big advice, is just to go live your life first. Because you're like, some people are so focused on trying to copy other people's lives.
Yeah.
Work, you know.
I
don't want to hear about what you read about or what you've seen, you know, and trying to hate it. I'd rather hear from you.
Yeah.
Than what you know.
Exactly. Yeah, I was given that advice by it wasn't. Well, I'm remembering it wrong. So one of my favorite artists, this guy Chris Bacalo or Bacello.
Oh, yeah.
How do you
yeah.
Great.
He was just like such an inspiration younger for me when I was younger, and I still am influenced heavily by his style, I think. But he had an interview in like Wizard magazine or something, and he's like, it's when I was trying to break in. And I remember specifically the interview was like, he's like, you can't just sit down and draw all day long. You got to go do other things other than drawing. Don't just be in this world of like comics, experience everything else. And I was so angry about that advice. I was like, no, I must focus on comics. And now that I've, had a career for a while, not just in comics, but it's like, it's such good advice, being, not just sitting in your office doing your thing or looking at art books, but actually go out and do stuff, experience the world.
How weird is that?
Yeah. Very strange advice. But forgive me. I'm trying to draw as we stream. I'm horrible at it, but
that's all right.
That's why I'm working down.
I have a hard time doing that, so I'm just gonna hop in here and chat with you guys for a bit.
You want to see my kitty? I know this is my daughter.
So cute.
Nice. Looks like a bobcat.
That's Max. Max is the star of my channel. Everybody would rather see Max sitting on the chair than listening to me talk.
I had a cat named Max once.
Yeah?
And he disappeared one day and came back, and he was all beat up, but not like just doing cat things, I guess. His tail was all swollen, and he was like all sickly. And so we tried to like help him and nurse him back to health, and then he disappeared another time and never came back. So,
we've had 7 cats either disappear or die in the last like 6 years.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, I haven't had much success with cats. I'm more of the dog guy, but I need to wait until I have a studio where I can bring the dog in and he can hang out with me all day before I am comfortable getting one. I just don't want him to be sitting home all day by himself.
Let me get your opinion on what I'm doing here.
Yes.
Because
should I put you full screen? Oh, here we go.
Sure, if you want. I can't decide if I want to make George Soros into sort of a lizard person with like like lizardy features, or if I should just stick with more of the mojo thing I got going on.
Yeah, is this a Mad Max with
he has to have bigger, saggier bags under his eyes.
Bigger? Just make them ridiculous.
Yeah, because every time I see him, it's like That's all I see is the bags.
Bags. Yeah. Oops.
I think, but I do like the idea of the lizard man. Maybe you can just add some scales like under his neck. I don't know.
Pump up the bags. Pump them up a little.
Is he like a main character, or is this just like a
okay, so he is the you can see the little children under his cage.
So bad.
He's the puppet master, right?
Okay.
That's why he has this waste disposal unit. Because when you're ruling the world, you have no time to get up and go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So he has his, French fries and Big Mac sent to him, and then while he puppet masters the world. And so in the next page is a double page spread where George or Donald Trump is getting sworn in 2021, and then George Soros, the eye of the Sorosian, appears above the crowd and takes control of his puppets, and they all start pointing at Trump, going, "Bad orange man, bad."
Who is this comic for?
It's gonna be so much fun.
My audience is going to freak out because I would never have anything political on my channel if I can help.
You invited me on, man.
Well, I didn't expect it to go there, though.
All right. Well, it's a project. I just wanted to get something done for this political season because it's going to be.
It's perfect timing. Yeah,
it is going to be a crazy political season. So I'm just touching some of this stuff up, and I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. Should I stick with like the Mojo kind of feel, or go lizard? I don't know, because lizard people is kind of also a thing,
You could just hint at it.
Yeah.
Like if his fingers are more lizardy, maybe. Put some scales under him, like in the dark areas, in the armpits. I don't want to influence your direction too much either way, though.
Oh. Well, that's what I asked.
I think I would go lizardy though, because I like lizards. I like going there.
Yeah.
With my characters, having a little more.
Face shows up towards the end when he's being defeated, and I just want it to be instantly recognizable. That it's.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this sort of a lizard look.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Hey Mike, do you do political cartoons?
No, not usually. It was an idea a friend of mine gave me, like, you should do something political for this election year. And I was like, I can do political. Let me do something crazy. So I'm going to have a bunch of guest stars in it, becoming superheroes and then, attacking the Sorosian. Well, actually, it's not the Sorosian. It's the Red Scare, the Red Menace that like. So all of the Red Menace is like all these politicians start merging into one giant being, and then like it just starts spreading out into the crowd because he's promising them like free college tuition and universal minimum wage and all this stuff. So he's absorbing the crowd and just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and so that's our heroes have to somehow deal with that.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's all a lark.
Yeah, no. It's good. Yeah, when I was in college, and I did a ton of editorial cartoons. That was how I cut my teeth.
Oh yeah.
In comics, yeah. I actually don't win hardly any awards for comics. Like I've drawn all these comics, but I just don't win anything. But when I was in college, I was doing really well with editorial cartoons. So, just didn't think that I don't know. I didn't really have a strong opinion either way with anything. So I was actually
That's probably the best position to be in if you're doing editorial cartoons.
Yeah, maybe. You know, you might be right because you're kind of in the middle of all of it, right?
Yeah, so you can see the stupidity on both sides,
Yeah.
and there's plenty. I mean, there's no shortage. There is no shortage.
Yeah. No, it's I just didn't. I don't know. I didn't really see a future in cartooning in the newspapers. I just thought I was working for a paper,
Yeah.
and I just didn't think that there was a place for the kind of comics I wanted to do. I mean, you're doing long forms political cartoons, you know, so it's interesting. The political cartoon is now comic book more. You know, you're gonna have more comic books more than single panel.
Yeah.
Cartoons in the newspaper. I don't really see those passed around anymore.
Yeah, nobody. Well, now it's all, you do it and you stick it up on Twitter and hope it goes viral and that sort of thing. But yeah, I used to do a web comic called Electronic Tigers, and that was about a bunch of kids in art school and it dealt with a lot of video games and stuff like that. But once a week, I would do a strip called Right, Left, Center, and that was like just this political strip, and it was like during McCain, the McCain president or presidential run and all that stuff. So it was a really hot political year, and that was just fun because you could just like, what's crap is going on today or this week or whatever, and then just like write a quick thing about it, and that was fun. But I really haven't done anything since in the political sphere, so I just why not do it now?
Yeah, I don't pay attention enough to I think to have to be able to formulate interesting thoughts from both sides or from all the sides.
Yeah. I used to focus so much on politics, but for like the last couple of years, it's just I'm too busy.
Yeah, I think that's my thing. Is if I focus on it, then I don't get anything done.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think a lot of people have focused on politics. I kind of feel like a lot of people are jumping in these days. They just feel they can't ignore it or something. But their ability to speak on issues and make cohesive arguments and things like that. I mean, they're kind of a few steps back, it seems, because they've been away.
Yeah.
It's like and a combination of being away from the process as well as having it introduced in these like really new forms of media like social media. I think it caused all this weird anxiety where people don't know how to use the tools very well. I mean, if you're on Twitter, you got to essentially be a really good poet, And a lot lost in your communications there. People aren't able to communicate very well if they're not good at being resourceful with their words.
I think that is an astute observation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think it all kind of works itself out. I think people are pretty. I believe in people, and they sort of after the initial anxieties and things like that, I think they can start taking a laugh, here and there. It's good that you're doing political cartoons and stuff.
Tonight on I have a show, Nerds of the Round Table. Actually, I haven't. Gosh darn it! I have to line up some guests. We're going to be talking about the Ricky Gervais thing.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of like.
I didn't watch the whole. I didn't want to watch. I don't like awards shows.
I don't either. I
know what happened.
I saw that on Twitter, and then I saw his whole speech. I'm like, this is where the pendulum swings, right? You've got it's the comedians. We had this discussion when the Dave Chappelle thing came out. The comedians are the first. They're like the grunts on the front lines of free speech, right? And when all the people come and try to hit them with the cancel culture crap, and then it's like you can't make that joke, or we will make sure that you never work again and can't feed your family. It's the comedians that are like, this is my freaking living, right? And so when Dave Chappelle came out and said, "You know who I'm afraid of? You, the audience, you freaking cancel culture jerks out there trying to." Stop anyone from having fun because they made a joke, an off-color joke 15 years ago on some social media platform that doesn't even exist anymore. Someone dredged it up and wants you to lose your career. It's like him and Gervais, and I think this is like more comedians have to stand up, and then more actors have to stand up, and then just it politics is downwind from culture, right? And
Yeah.
so these are the guys that are standing up and finally saying, okay, you've gone this far. This is just way too much. You guys are out of control. They're like power mad now. It's like, we're going to just take down anybody who says anything. It's freaking 1984, right? Wrong speak.
Yeah, but that type of mentality. It's a very vocal minority, right?
Yeah.
So Americans and people in the world, they know that too. So regular people, they don't make their opinions known all the time. They're not out there. They're just busy trying to live their life, and wondering. They'll look at like my career and what's going on in entertainment and stuff, and go, "What the heck are you guys doing over there?" And it's like, yeah, I know, right? I think a lot of people get siloed into their little worlds, and they just infects their brain where they start thinking, a very particular way, and aren't able to have a reasonable conversation with anybody after a while. And partly because I think I actually think it's at the heart of it is that there's a lot of people struggling to make it through, and they've bought into these things that they don't even believe anymore. And so they start blaming everybody else for these bad decisions they may have made, because they don't want to believe that they made the mistakes that they think they have. It's like the movie Fargo. I think about great morality tales. Those are the things that really teach you lessons. The great cinema works from the past. It's a Kurosawa film or a Kieslowski movie, or the Coen Brothers. I put them right up there too.
Oh, I love them.
And they show you the foibles and the mistakes people make, and that leads to these conflicts. It's usually a well-intentioned mistake and a series of them happening, and it's like it can get out of control like a wildfire if there isn't somebody able to mediate or moderate or find some way to make the peace before the fire breaks out. And here we're seeing that kind of thing happen, and the comedians are out there trying to douse that flame with their own reputations on the line. They'll do it because you got to get at the truth, right? So if you're a good comedian, you're really just talking about honest things. That's where you're going to get the jokes. That's where you're going to get the people laughing, because they got to relieve the pain of the truth.
Yeah. And I mean, the truth must be spoken, but the truth about the truth is that the truth will offend those who don't believe the truth.
Mm-hmm. So maybe I think they're just fighting their own gut instinct that they, you know what I mean? Like it's not people will yell about what they want to believe.
That's a good point.
You're
very smart.
You can get, here, you're doing this thing, and they're like, no, I'm not. No. And you're like,
look, right, it's here, right in front of your face. That's not what it says.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I talk to a lot of. We're in the art world, so a lot of my friends are on the liberal side of things. I came from a very conservative family, and I think they're fine and reasonable. They think of me as like kind of a weird.
What? I'm totally sorry to get off rails. I'm half Japanese. I don't understand how so many Asians with this such a dedicated, hardworking, seemingly objectivist kind of a worldview that comes from Asia in general. How are so many Asians leftists in America?
I think that it's an illusion. I don't think that's true.
You don't?
From in the art world, yes. I think that it's very heavily left. I think that part of it is probably because I don't know. I mean, I think back on being in high school and just being bullied just like anybody else, and a lot of times it was because of my skin color. I was a pretty decent baseball player, and I pretty much got bullied right off the team. They just
Really?
it was a horrible situation. Yeah, I got kicked in the shins, called all sorts of stuff. Just derogatory, anti-Asian things. It was the worst part of it was they were my friends.
Yeah.
They were people that I knew, and they were just doing it just to kind of get me off the team so they can get on. It was very strategic.
So they're just using whatever they
eliminate one of the better players. Hey.
Yeah.
And it was fine. And I guess that's what I saw that was happening. They wouldn't even look me in the eyes. So, I went over to hang out with the art kids, and it was like my life was like Glee, the Glee show, right? Because I was the jock. I was a skater, surfer kid, played baseball and every sport. I loved it, and I just didn't get accepted in that group. But all the weird kids did, And so I think that a lot of Asian Americans feel beholden to that group. And I think that's how they get into those into that side, and I think a lot of that is on the left, because a lot of those people feel outcast by maybe their parents who may be conservative. They're just there's an anti-establishment thinking, that they it's like their friends are their family instead of their family.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah, like for me, my family's my family. It's always first. And I'm also a dad, so I have like kids, So I don't know. I can't. It's hard for me to just like be like, oh yeah, my friends are more important than my kids. There's no way.
Yeah,
yeah.
But a lot of my friends don't have kids.
No, but what generation are you?
Fourth generation.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of. My mom's from Japan.
Oh,
so
okay.
Still have that kids are for seeing, not for hearing. It's like they never hugged us or anything. It's like just very old school Japan kind of parented. And it's funny because she watches the way my wife and I are with our kids, and we're just loving on them all the time, and we're kissing them, telling them we love them and stuff, and she just goes like, "Oh, I did it wrong." But yeah, you're downwind from that. So we're
well, I'll say this though, my stepdad who raised us, my real dad, kind of I guess the short story is that he abandoned us, but he's in Japan and he's Japanese. It's my stepdad is very old school Japanese. He's the first generation.
Okay.
Still
you got that from him.
What's that?
So did you get that from him?
No, about him. I'm not old school Japanese. I'm very.
No. I'm saying, was he like that?
What's that?
Old school Japanese.
A combination of old school Japanese, and he wishes he was John Wayne, I think. Right? I mean, if he's coming here, like he's just like, oh, I want to be cowboy. Samurai cowboy. That's what he wants to be, and he just wants to be, just a freedom-loving,
right on.
American, Japanese cowboy. So, and we had our differences. I think it's pretty smooth out now. But when I was a kid, I think he even thought like because I was into the arts, I was useless.
Yeah, my dad thought that too. So we're good.
So it's cool. But no, my great grandpa opened a grocery store, the oldest Japanese grocery store in the United States, 1907.
Oh wow!
It's still there in New York. It's actually just like a block away from Trump Tower.
Was he interred?
What's that?
Was he interred?
My family was not interned. They were. My grandpa was actually. He went to school at Keio University. So did my great grandpa, and my mom. So he was actually in college when the war broke out, and he got drafted into the Japanese Navy.
Oh wow!
As an American. It's a pretty interesting story. He's an American citizen who was drafted into the Japanese Navy.
Wow.
Yeah. He actually told me some stories about how he translated for General MacArthur He translated for the Green Berets. So he was just stuck in the middle of all that stuff. I have his typewriter, actually. Here, I'll get it for you.
Hey, Mike, it looks like a lot of people are saying lizard. Do the lizard. In the chat, in the question.
I'm trying to add. I don't want to be so lizardy that you lose the Sorosy part.
Yeah. Check this out.
Oh wow, check that out.
From like it's a Remington, made in USA. It's an old Remington typewriter. My grandpa used this to basically communicate, help Americans and Japanese communicate with each other during the war. Pretty intense.
So he was in the Japanese Navy, working for the Americans.
I don't know. I don't know his story. He was very quiet about it. I don't know the extent of it. You know, he didn't tell me anything until the pretty much the last month or two before he passed away. He decided to tell me all this stuff. I was like, oh my goodness.
Wow.
You know, he was like, yeah, I'm at MacArthur.
Yeah. My grandfather was in obviously the Japanese army, and I have no idea what he did.
You probably don't want to know.
All I know is he came home and his wife was pregnant, so they got divorced.
Okay. Yeah. So
my mom remembers it because she has memories of World War II. Like she was 2 years old when they firebombed her village, and she still remembers it. She was like asking her aunt one time. She's like, I remember being on your back, and walking over the river and just seeing it filled with logs. And she's like, how do you remember that? You were 2, and those were not logs.
Wow. Yeah.
Because the everyone was, you know, they dropped those freaking bricks dipped in tar or whatever it is that just firebombs entire areas, and so the people are on fire and they run into the river and drown. But yeah, her family is the only family in her town or village, whatever it was, in Tokyo, by the way, that survived because her uncle had already been through a firebombing. And so he's like, everyone's running away from their town, and he's like, run back. He's all, they're not going to firebomb the town again. So run back to the firebomb, you know, to the place. And like, you know, after, because they're like, you know, those houses back then, it's just tissue paper, rice paper, and wood. So the fire doesn't last forever. But their family was the only one to run back. Everyone else in their town went someplace and got killed.
Yeah.
It's like a Graveyard of the Fireflies. I watched that with them. I'm like, wow, there's like,
yeah. A lot of people make you know, I mean, the nuclear bombs were a big deal, but yeah, the fire bombings were the worst.
Yeah.
You know, like Kurosawa's. Have you read Kurosawa's autobiography? I have it here. I always keep a lot of these. Some of my favorite books around here.
He's like me. He has everything at the tip of his fingers.
Well, I keep I look at like my top books as like my tool set. So this is my workspace. You're at right here. So I keep them near me, you know, and I reference them all the time. So you know, this is the book that I'll reference more than anything. It's Cannery Row. I don't know if you guys have read this recently. Fantastic. Like it's with all political stuff that goes on when people are like fighting and everything, and you're just like, oh man, can we just like, can people just chill out for a little bit and think about what's going on? This does a really good job of giving you that kind of perspective.
Yeah.
It's a microcosm. So it's a good cartoon of American life.
Cool.
And how the mixing of all the different people and the melting pots and trying to, you know, just do their thing. And, you know, the way he writes it is what I think is spectacular, because he doesn't load it with emotion. You know, he just, when talking about a bar brawl, he talks about it as if he was just watching like a sea anemone, like kind of bloom or something in the tide pool. It's the way he writes about it. It's not. He's really just like, hey, I like everybody, and look at all the weird things that they do.
Yeah. Who's the author?
That's John Steinbeck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
If it wasn't for Steinbeck, I wouldn't be a writer. I haven't read Steinbeck. I gotta make stuff like this. Somebody's asking, when can we expect Amulet 9? I have there's a release date, but I'll let Scholastic announce that type of stuff. I'm still working on it. This year is the production year. Last year I decided to make it my research year. I'm trying to do things a little bit differently. I think I overworked myself in the first 5 or 6 books, and I think I set a bad precedent for myself. Because I used to work till like 4 a.m. every day, 7 days a week. Got to the point, and then I ended up in a hospital. So the first time it was not because of the overworking, but it was, well, maybe that had something to do with it. But I was in a coma because of meningitis, and then the second time was just from overwork, and that was on Amulet, and that was the last book I did. So I've got to remember to take care of myself, so that you keep doing it.
I'm not familiar. What do you do? Jason, put his stuff up on the screen.
Oh yeah, I do a graphic novel series called Amulet.
It's huge. Like millions of copies sold.
Wow.
So yeah, it's just not in the like Marvel DC world. It's Scholastic, right?
It's Scholastic, yeah.
Scholastic, so
yeah, I did a book, at Image a long time ago, but
yeah, me too.
Is that? Yeah. So, but I haven't been in the comics world for a while. I think people think I retired or something. That's okay. I love both sides. That's great. It's fine.
Can you guys see the question I put on there?
I think
artists should follow Dave Chappelle's example.
No, he swears too much.
I think artists should be honest.
Yeah.
And they should follow, like, our job is to shed light on different perspectives, on opinions and perspectives and things like that. That's the human condition. Like we're not all just like one thing. We're mixed with so many different cultures, different ideas, different, religions, different, all this stuff, Yeah. And if people are afraid to speak their truth, we're in a bad place, like in the world. That's not good. And if artists are afraid, then they're supposed to be right up at the vanguard of this stuff.
That's right.
They're being cowards. They're kowtowing to their own fears. And if you start doing that, you're gonna, I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of bad stuff that happens if that happens. So, no, yeah, I think artists should stay honest, try to be good people, and help other people work things out. We're more referees than players on the field, man. We're in media, mean the middle. That's our job. My job isn't to make somebody read my book and think my way. They might be inspired to do what I do, which is basically be a ref on the field, but I don't like it when people look at my work in any way where they're like saying it represents a thing. If someone does that with my work, then I've done wrong, because it should be a space for the discussion to occur.
Our job is not to propagandize.
No, it's not. It's to open up the avenues of discussion so people can work the stuff out.
Yeah.
I create playgrounds and I create spaces for them to be able to do that. And when I see other artists try to take over that space and make it about themselves or the things that they want to see in this world, well, for one, I don't think the audience is going to go for it. They know that space is sullied, so they won't accept it, and those people will probably be upset, mostly at themselves for having essentially sold out. So yeah, Chappelle didn't sell out. That's what it comes down to, and he's already clearly have been thinking about all this stuff for years, and that's why he's stepped away from that world to give himself the perspective that he needs to see the forest from the trees. And sometimes people don't like to know that they're in a forest at all because it might be burning.
Here's one for you, Mike.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
Why is you see it?
Edwin was there when I drew it. It's not a P-tube. It's a waste disposal unit.
It's all in the title of
That's right. It's a waste disposal unit. I contemplated making it transparent, but
they gotta have one of those in like cars, for long trips.
yeah.
Right? Like they should just have that. You have vacuum cleaners in the back of like the Honda Odyssey. They should probably have a P-tube on
There
the
you go.
driver's seat.
Right on there. I am driving from Washington to San Diego, and it's going to take me
Yeah, man. What if you can't? What if you're stuck,
significantly shorter trip with these strapped to your junk. There you go.
How many people in LA crap?
You're breaking up. I didn't hear you.
Oh yeah, like all those people stuck in traffic in like LA or Atlanta or something like that. Imagine being stuck there for about an hour and a half and you gotta pee.
Oh my gosh, dude. I have the bladder of a little girl, and I've been in position. Oh man, just like my teeth are floating, and I want to just get out in the middle of the highway and.
Yeah, dude, you should go and start making those P-tubes.
Yeah, there you go. I'm just gonna abandon comics to work on my.
Probably do better.
I'm gonna save the world with my junk. I'll call it the junk trunk.
The junk trunk. There you go.
Sorry, Jason.
It was good. I'm trying to read the comments and I'm hearing you guys talking in the background.
Jason's like, this is
It's good
why
stuff.
did I invite Mike?
Yeah. Sorry, Mike. I keep ignoring you when you invite me onto things. It's just.
I just figure you're busy.
Oh,
I
that's
know
fine.
I knew you were on vacation. I watched your video.
Which video?
The one where your books were all jacked up, and then you said you were leaving for vacation.
Yeah. Okay.
You're like, I have this huge problem. Bye.
Yeah, I'm leaving now.
Yeah. How are things going, Jason? I haven't checked in with you in a long time.
Yeah.
That's why I hopped on here.
So my books all came for Sithra 5 and 6, and one of them was Sithra 5 had a kind of defect on the spine. So the printer's reprinting it and shipping it to me now. And so it just delayed everything and it pushed my schedule way back for everything and made 2020 a little more stressful than I wanted it to be. But it's good. And so now I'm working on Phobos, my next one, and trying to just get it ready to like kickstart it or Indiegogo it by the middle of the year. And by then I'll have Sithra all shipped out and done. So that series is all finished. But yeah, it's been good. Like that last campaign gave me enough money to have a little buffer, to be able to just work and not stress too much about the money. So that's always been kind of a goal, to have my projects buffer the next project. And so that's been nice. Oh, look, someone else is coming. Hey, Doug. Hey.
Kazoo.
Hey, Doug. Hey.
It's good to see you. Hey, Mike Miller.
What's up, brother?
It's the people. And Jason, what is going on with your head?
That's what I said.
It's changing.
Adolf.
You can see the tan for a couple more
Adolf
weeks.
wants his hair back.
I give it to Mike.
I love it. I do need a haircut. Look at this.
I just
I haven't
added
had
it,
time to. I have to put so much product in it to keep it out of my face.
This was the most expensive one. I had to fly to the
Me long hair now.
Oh.
So happy 2020. I didn't say that, but that's why I titled the stream.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys. It's going to be a great year.
Hey, everyone in the chat, can you like and share? Could you like and share?
Yeah, guys, like and share. Oh, let me send the link out to this thing. What channel is this on, Jason?
It's
Jason.
my channel. I don't.
Do you have a name? Is it Jason Brubaker? Let me see.
You can search Jason Brubaker or Coffee Table Comics. I think the technical name is Brubaker Motion, but it just sounded like.
No, it says Jason Brubaker. I'm looking at it on. Oh, no.
Yeah, I see.
What am I looking at? I'm looking at the other thing.
No, I'm looking at
No,
Brubaker
I'm
live
looking at it.
now.
It's Jason Brubaker, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you change the name of your? Because it used to be Coffee Table Comics.
Yeah, I've changed it so many times that now YouTube just like
really
we
good
won't
for branding.
do it anymore.
You know, everyone in the world loves Jason Brubaker. Everyone I don't know of anyone who hates you.
My son.
Did you say loved? Past tense?
Everyone loved. Yeah, he was a good guy. Okay,
I
what am I
remember
going
Jason.
to tweet? Watch us live on What are we going to talk about? Brubakers.
Well, it's already.
Did you see the Sorosian yet?
Oh yeah, here. You'll like this, Doug.
Okay, what is it?
Let's see, how do I add it to stream? There we go.
Oh, look at that. What the hell's that tube coming off him? What is that?
That is his waste disposal unit. You can't rule
Oh,
the
that
world.
was sick.
Get up and go to the back.
And for cars.
Yeah, yeah.
Jason, that's a killer drawing.
I didn't. That's not me. That's Mike.
Oh, that's Mike. Mike, that's disgusting. You make me sick. What are the kids doing under there? Are those children?
Yeah. It's their Sorosian. He gets
That's very
variety power.
Kirby looking. I like the back of the monitors too.
Yeah, this is just a breakdown, so I'm gonna go in and print this out and then ink it properly.
No, dummy, you're done. Don't overwork it like you always
That's
do.
just a breakdown. Dang.
Don't, Mike. You're done.
Like-
Move on.
I like overworking.
Yeah, stop it. It's good.
I can't.
Put out more pages instead. Let me tweet this. Hold on.
I know. I did this and then this double page spread on Saturday on a live stream. Why can't it? Oh, there we go. So
And New York Times best-selling author. Kazu. I like doing that because I know you're humble enough to hate that. Oh, okay.
there's your tweet. So this is page 2 and 3. I did that and these.
Oh, not enough detail back there on the White House and the little crowds.
Well,
Get
that's-
more.
That's just a photo that I found. Find.
Oh,
edges.
I'm sorry. I thought that was a Dore etching.
That's why I have to re-ink it. Because
You missed a head.
isn't that a perfect Nancy Pelosi? Just like.
Oh, that's good. That is good.
It really does look like her.
Yeah, nothing political here. Jiminy cripes, Mike. Jeez.
Yeah. So I'm doing a political comic for.
Well, I wonder. Trump with his hand on the Bible. He puts his hand on the Bible. He goes, whatever these books are, I promise. 2 Corinthians.
I don't believe he ever claimed he was a biblical scholar.
I guess not. 2 Corinthians. First job book 1.
You hear there was it 7 was giving you crap for saying you never read the Old Testament?
Yeah, I barely read the Old Testament. I'm terrible at Old Testament.
Really, I think the Old Testament's fun.
I'm with you, man. I love it.
I'm New Testament
I
guy.
think that's just,
Stories, man. It's stories. You're a
and
story
it makes the
guy.
New Testament come alive.
Mm-hmm. The human sorrow speed. No, it's the Sorosian. So this big. I should fix this so it's like the eye of the Sorosian, and then the eye of the Sorosian takes control of his puppets.
Hey, is Pelosi's hand there big enough since it's in the foreground of her face? Why don't you click and scale that up?
Well, I thought it would be funny if I made everyone else's hands small, and then I made Trump's hands bigger.
As a commentary, they're huge. Look how meaty they are.
Nobody gets my humor.
Those are great hands.
Oh, thank you. Well, and they're each the way those guys point. Like you got the Bernie Sanders with the
Oh yeah, the gnarled.
pointing at you.
Yeah,
With pinch and pinchy pointing. you
yeah.
know?
It's there's all this arthritis, so he can't make a full fist.
So I don't know.
Kazi, what are you working on?
The newest, the last book in the series. I got that, and I got I don't know, just the same stuff. I'm just trying to finish out Amulet. I got another series that I've been working on that since before Amulet started. So
Cool.
it's really I'm just staying.
Are you
on.
going to do that with Scholastic?
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's I think I don't. I have a
That's a
contract.
yes.
For my
I mean,
book.
if you want it, it's a yes. But
Yeah, well, yeah, no. I mean, I love Scholastic. I have a contract for a book after Amulet, and I haven't decided if it's going to be the next series start or there's actually a kind of an autobio type of book that I wanted to do.
Oh, that'd be cool too.
Yeah, and there's and every time I discuss it with the folks at Scholastic and my agent and everybody else, they seem to want me to do that book first. So, yeah, I might do that.
Fun.
Yeah.
I'm butchering these pencils right now.
Yeah, but for now it's an Amulet. This binder here is my Amulet binder.
Cool.
It's full of stuff.
And are you on schedule for that, or does it matter at this point?
Well, I'm super late based on the contract, but the book is just, it's the last book in the series.
Got to do it right.
I want to make an extra long book. I want it to be the same size as the others, so I'm trying to fit everything into this one and to complete it. No, I want it to just take as much time as I'm going to take as much time as I need to make this thing. It's going to be this year. This year's is going to be the production year. I've been spending the last year just researching, and I have like just pages and pages, just tons and tons of just sketches and, just like, doing
Nice.
basically doing
Layouts. You basically laid out the whole thing.
Yeah, the layouts, the drawings, the layouts, the coloring, all that stuff, I can schedule that. That's not hard. That's just work.
Yeah.
What I can't schedule is figuring out like the stories,
Yeah.
the equation of it all, like what is it I'm trying to say and what do I want?
The meaning.
Yeah.
You can't schedule meaning.
Yeah, you get the meaning first, and then when I'm doing the book, I can't just I'm not going to just put whatever I'm thinking just out there. I want someone to go through essentially an experience that's like a puzzle,
Yeah.
To sort it out on their own, to put the pieces together. And it might not necessarily be the idea that I had in mind. It'll be something new, maybe. But I just want to make sure all the parts are right and they feel honest. They got to feel, like genuine.
Like they belong.
Yeah. So it's been interesting, doing this at the pace that I'm doing it at, and watching things like the whole Star Wars thing go on, and and Game of Thrones, and seeing like you can
see how angry everyone is at the end. Things if you get it wrong.
Stuff. You can throw all the money you want at this stuff, right? Yeah. All the resources you have, the skills, the talent. Try to schedule it, but life just does not want to be scheduled. Yeah. And if you're doing things at those levels, you're gonna have to respect the work, and the work will pace itself. And so I'm trying to just be a good listener of the material.
Yep.
And just and let it be my guide. I have my spidey sense. I know when I gotta go. I know when I gotta slow down. There have been times when I've done like a book like Daisy Cutter in 3 or 4 months. But it was just of its time. It was like, I could do that instantly. And it's the same with most Amulet books. So I'm sitting out here, basically feel like a fisherman, just casting lines out here and there, just
Well, your instincts got you here. So
Yeah.
your instincts are what people are buying and love.
That's right.
So they may not always be right, but they're your best guess. You know, they're going to be your best shot.
Yeah, and sometimes
That's what people want.
sometimes those instincts aren't convenient for what people want in the moment. So it's just I have to listen to everyone's like, "Where's Amulet 9? Where's this? Where's that?" And I'm like, "Well, I could give you a book right now.
Yeah.
You'll be upset."
Give me that Bot and Fink feeling.
Yeah,
I want the Bot and Fink feeling.
Yeah, but I know what they're looking for, and the only way I can deliver it is the schedule I'm going to keep right now. It's just that's just how it's going to be, and so I just got to deal with everyone yelling at me for a while.
Ask her, everyone.
No, it's okay. I'm good. I'm just focusing on trying to raise my kids and
How's Jeannie?
He's doing great. Yeah. He's
got to be huge now, right? How old is he?
Oh, he's 10. Yeah, he's getting pretty tall, and
Oh man,
yeah, the kids are doing great. Yeah, they're in school right now, and it's been great. I don't know, every day with them, it's just the best.
Yeah,
there's nothing better.
Yeah, you get to work in your house, so you get to see the kids.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm kind of like you. I'm not in the film industry anymore because I wanted to see my kids first. That was it. I wanted this Totoro lifestyle where I'm like the author dad and the kids are running around. I'm in the forest, so you can see me.
You're doing it right, man. That's you enjoy yourself more. How's Amy? Isn't Amy putting out a book? Isn't she been putting out books?
With Scholastic too, and it's amazing. It'll be a really great follow up to Amulet for any readers looking for the next thing.
Cool.
She's done with the first one and she's working on the second now.
I love it.
Yeah,
but it won't be book family.
What's that?
A comic book family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess we can show that you can do it.
Yeah, I know. I'd bet against that, but I'm glad it worked. I always thought artists marrying each other was psycho, but you guys are the exception because neither of you are psycho. So. Usually artists, it's like you see two artists getting married. You know how most artists are.
Yeah.
It's like two psychos.
Well, it depends on why you got into the arts. Because I tried to quit for years because it just didn't seem reasonable or practical. It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I was in architecture and I was in different fields. I would be perfectly happy being like a contractor or something. Makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Time for lunch.
Oh. You were rescued from this interrogation.
No, this is good.
Hey, it was great meeting you, Kazu.
Yeah, it was great meeting you too. Yeah, good luck with your political cartoons, man.
Yeah, good luck on that, buddy.
You want to get in that arena?
Yeah, get in there. Kazu, it's great to see you, man. I miss you so.
I miss you too, man. Yeah,
so miss you, man.
Hopefully see you on the road somewhere.
Oh yeah, if you're ever in Nashville, if you do a signing out here, I'd love to come.
Okay, yeah,
I'll bury you alive. You can stay at my house.
I'll remember that. I've been out. I think I've been out in Tennessee at least once. So
yeah, get out here. It's huge. They'd love you.
No, I think I was actually in Nashville not that long ago. I was in the Nashville airport. That's right.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I'll try to stop in if I'm in your neck of the woods.
Yep, dude. Tell David Saylor I said hi. Give him my love.
I will. Yeah, David's great. Yeah.
Yep, I love him too. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
See you, my brother.
See you guys.
See ya.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
New York Times bestseller. 7 times over.
Yeah.
Kazu.
Let's just turn off the stream now. We're done.
You sold more books than all of us will combined in our entire life. So other than that,
no way, man. This political book's gonna be huge.
Happy New Year. Yeah, no, but it's got Trump's big hands. You can't bet against Trump's giant hands.
That's right. That's correct, Doug. I'm gonna need to get you to do one of the variant covers, Doug.
Oh God, do I have to? I was just a friend of mine, Nate Wilson, who did 100 Cupboards, the book.
Okay.
And what is it, The Littlest Ninja or whatever on Netflix? He just called and he goes, we want you to come up here to Moscow, Idaho, and lecture. I'm like, my schedule is like down to the second this year. Like, it is so crazy tight.
Doug, I don't know how you do it, man. I don't
Hmm.
know. I mean, I was like trying to like take a break from everything, and
Yeah.
like your notifications just keep blowing up. Doug
Yeah.
is streaming again. It's New Year's. We're going to stream over New Year's.
Yeah, get in. And you never come on. What's wrong? I come on
I
your
was out of
show.
town, so I didn't have a good internet connection, but
Oh, okay.
I was out of the country. But
Oh, that's right. You were
Yeah.
just where'd you go?
Vacation. Oh, we're gonna go over this all over again.
Oh,
but-
sorry. Where'd you go? Just briefly.
St. Kitts in the Caribbean. My
Okay.
Chelly's family lives there, or her
Oh, yeah.
parents live there. So yeah, it wasn't like on a yacht the whole time and just eating caviar, but it was still awesome to get out of the norm, and it was hot, instead of the cold. Like we came back to snow.
Yeah.
It was nice
No,
to just
I
change
can
that up.
see why you'd go.
Yeah. Oh, and the culture is just such a different thing on Christmas. It's so completely opposite of here.
Yeah.
It's party and all kinds of parades and different things.
Yeah.
The whole town gets involved.
They have like borderline fruity gay parades, right? Isn't there New Year's thing like the big, the fancy, it's called the fancy shoe or something? They did that in the Florida Keys.
They did. They had their big thing is this thing called Carnival and
Yeah.
Juve.
Yeah.
Juve is just like all night long and then into the next day right after Christmas.
Yeah.
And the whole town gathers and gets drunk and dances all night long and totes these giant 2 stories of speakers around the city.
Oh, that
And
sounds like a
insane.
blast. Blast.
So- and then carnivals after the new year, and that's just like lots and lots of parades and dancing, and Jelly actually was in it.
What?
Yeah, one of a connection with the family like bought the costume and was going to be a part of it, but then had to go to a funeral instead.
You should be in it because you'd be the only white guy in it.
No, there was a couple white guys.
Oh, really? Were they
They
honorary?
were so out of place that they made me realize, yeah, I made the right decision by not being here.
They didn't make you wear the feather boa,
Little feather shorts.
little feather shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, the dancing's just a little bit too how do you say, lewd?
Yeah, that's
That's
why,
word.
that's why I would
Word.
want to do it, but I would be like the 53-year-old 6'8" white guy out there that just one of these things doesn't belong here.
Yeah. Although I have to say, my Chelly did amazing. She like went around the town in the hot sun for like 8 hours dancing.
Wow, she's
So-
wonderful. Is she still doing jewelry?
Not really. She's kind of starting to pack that stuff up. It's just it doesn't really it's not really like her thing is like getting with a lot of people and teaching and hanging out and like the like the classes that she teaches with aerobics and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like it fits her personality better than locking herself in a room and making jewelry.
Yeah, she's a very,
so,
very social and very,
Very
yeah,
yeah. And it's
and
just
funny.
not-
She's very funny.
yeah. Yeah, she's really good with people. So I like to come into my office and lock myself in my room, but
Yeah, me too.
that drives her nuts.
Because we hate people, so
Yeah, exactly.
we like just hiding in here and just drawing.
I don't
Yeah.
hate people. I'm designing jewelry right now too. Weirdly enough.
You are.
Yeah. My mom's friend, she does this line of jewelry in Japan called
Oh yeah, you told me. Yeah,
Light of
the
Africa,
dragon thing that you're
something
doing.
like that.
right?
Yeah.
The dragon.
Yeah, and so it's usually like this gold that she does these hand wrapped like crystals and stuff, and it's huge. It's like in all these department stores, and it's like this really high end, like the pieces sell for like $12,000 to $30,000 each and all. So she's
Wow.
making bank, and she did this one Chinese dragon or Oriental dragon, however you want to phrase it. And it was just really popular, and so people were asking if she had a Celtic dragon or a European dragon, and she's like, no, but I know someone who can design one.
Yeah.
So So she's hiring me to design another set for her company. So
Wow.
back to the root. I was a apprentice jeweler when I was 18 years old.
Cool. I like that stuff. All the crafty things.
So back to the life.
I made my wife's wedding ring.
Wow.
Oh,
Cast it, like cast gold. I sculpted her wedding ring
nice.
out of wax. Yeah. I worked with the jeweler, and he kind of taught me, showed me the tools.
Yeah.
And said, this is like the thickness of the wax, and this is how it needs to be. And then
Wax.
I couldn't afford the gold, so we had to melt down old gold that she had from a relative gave her a bunch of their wedding jewelry. So we had them melt it down to make our ring.
Nice.
I just love, I love casting, which I'd love to do a series of. I did a bronze in college, and I really want to do like these cartoony bronzes of like cartoon figures,
Oh yeah.
like creatures and stuff. And they have like smelting now. They have like all these kind of small time kilns and stuff that you can use that, come on, let's make a bunch of bronzes. Screw this comic stuff.
I've wanted to do lost wax bronze
Yeah.
sculptures for a long time, but I just, never just took in a class on it.
Yeah, you can do it.
Probably
Yeah, I
do it.
took jewelry. We had, remember back in the day when high schools had electives?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had jewelry, man. We did jewelry, stained glass, all with the same teacher, and so I made a lot of jewelry in high school, and that's why I was a jeweler's apprentice at 18.
Cool.
I already knew how to do everything.
Too cool. I love that.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Nobody does that anymore.
No one
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it. But when you go buy like great bronze sculptures at an art store or something, you look at that bronze and just go, ooh,
Yeah.
I wonder
so
how
cool.
that's a lot of work, but I respect it because it's in
Yeah.
bronze.
Yeah. I love seeing that stuff in person.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing a layout, so it's hard to talk.
Man, when I do anything, it's hard to talk.
Not me. I talk all the time. Blah, 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 blah.
Earthworm Jim looks beautiful. That's such a gorgeous book. And I
That-
can't believe how fast you turn that thing out.
Yeah. I crap quality.
You know what you need is one of these Sorosian waste to
Yeah. I need a tapeworm.
funnel that quality right into your.
Right into my mortgage.
No, it's amazing that you were able to launch the campaign and make the book and ship it and deliver it in under 6 months?
Yeah, that was an insane, life-threatening schedule too, though.
Yeah.
It was not fun. I mean, it's fun to draw, but it is not fun to do.
Yeah.
And it's not even the drawing really that's the bad part of the schedule, because we all know how to draw.
Yeah.
It's when it comes down to like scanning, lettering, digital pre-press, sending files to colorists, receiving files back, lining them up in InDesign, and that's stuff that I don't do well. And so suddenly that becomes labor.
Yeah.
But drawing, I could draw all day. I kind of need like an in-house art and design department, and I think it would free me up.
Yeah.
I could bang out even more.
Yeah. My assistant's been helping me with InDesign stuff. And
Yeah.
he's putting together all my I'm making this 300-page book of all my old submissions and old stories and stuff.
Yeah.
And
Like a sketchbook archive. The sketchbook.
yeah, exactly. And he just scanned it all and put it all in the InDesign, retyping everything up, and so that's been really nice.
Funny, yeah, because InDesign is like so easy to use, but you just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like
Yeah.
Excel to me.
go rake the yard. It's not difficult. It's just I'd rather
Not-
hire someone else to do it for me.
Yeah. I'm going to draw.
Yeah.
But Jason, you're the reason why that book is obscene, because you taught me how to do, or not taught me, but just showed me the way on just the obscene,
Yeah.
more expensive. I never would have done that first hardbound sketchbook.
Yeah.
Till you kind of walked me through it with Regents.
Yeah.
That was really the first.
It's your fault.
And that turned out beautiful too.
That was a good book, man. Leather. First
Yeah.
hardbound book, leather.
I mean, that was even more obscene than I was trying to get you to do.
Yeah. It was pretty stupid in hindsight, but man, it really worked.
But I mean, even Earthworm Jim, it's like it's gone to another level that I don't even think I would want to go to
Yeah.
on my next books. You know, all the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
It's like that takes so much time to make.
It does. It is deliberately obscene and deliberately stupid.
See,
Or-
what Doug is doing is buying customers.
That's what I want. Yeah. They're buying a book, so it's already whorish and obscene because they're already paying me for art. So then we're just upping the transaction a little bit. I'm giving them free stuff.
Yeah.
That is even funner. And they love it. Imagine that. They love it.
What percentage do you think wants that free stuff?
100.
You think? Because see, to me, that free stuff doesn't do much for me.
It doesn't. It's a cumulative effect.
Yeah.
It doesn't work on its own if you try to itemize it, because you'll see people open the package and go, "Oh, look at these trading cards."
Yeah.
I'm not really into trading cards, but they still see these packs of trading cards, and two are blue and one has this shiny red foil. It's a psychological effect that, but it can be done other ways. It can be done. It's the same thing when I open up certain trading cards. If I look at a trading card and I go, wow, I'm not into trading cards, but I can tell this one cost more. And that could be done with, say, a Jason Brubaker designed card deck. May not cost much to print, but you just go, whoa, that's all of the Remind characters as the royalty in it. And you get like psychological credit for it. And that's what I'm trying to encourage fellow Indiegogo kids to think about is, what are cheap things that have a real, bang for the buck?
Yeah.
Like I think in the YouTube age, doing a YouTube video of commentary of your whole book would be very valuable and free. If they're fans of you and they're fans of your work and you provided that commentary, I think they would really, and you could use it as marketing the whole time. You're pointing out special things that they may not have seen, and you're upping the value of their donation the whole time you're doing it, and it's free.
Additionally, it's great marketing in a sense. I mean, Doug adding the Bigfoot Bill comic book was great marketing. But like even just, people are getting out getting their Meg packs now, which Jason, I don't know if you know, I did that. It was 3 books in one thing, but the 3 books also as an add-on because they were late. As an add-on, like a whatever tier thing, I added 1 trading card for each book.
Yeah.
Plus I added, because it was just so late, I added a free postcard of the Meg. So when people are posting this on Twitter, every time they post it, it's this smorgasbord of stuff. It's like, look what I got from Mike. It's like 7 items all splayed out on their pool table or their coffee table, right? It looks like this.
It takes up acreage.
Yeah. It's not just like someone else. It's like, oh look, I got my frog comic. No, whatever it is, whatever the comic is. If it's just 1 comic, it just doesn't have the visual impact of just a smorgasbord of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't want it cluttered either. It does start to look like a swap meet because I've done Bookmark before.
Yeah.
And the Vistaprint postcards, which I'm fine with. But that, you know, some stuff gets real cluttery. If it's all I had the money to do, that's all I would do.
Yeah.
But even practical, I try and put something practical in there, like fridge magnet. I didn't do it on this campaign, but I've done it on those sketchbook campaigns. People love the fridge magnet because it's practical.
Because they love to eat. Yeah.
Small, flat.
I like the practical. I like the stuff that, like, T-shirts are good because it's it's a walking billboard, you know.
Yeah, but those have really low margins. The T-shirt,
Exactly, and I can't give those away for free.
that's what I mean. I would love to crack T-shirts someday. I can't figure out how to. Certainly not through crowdfunding. I haven't figured out how to do it. And the only way it would make sense is if you did a high-end fashion model T-shirt that cost a lot of money, and it was all name brand.
What if you called it the Kanye?
Yeah, that's exactly what Kanye does.
Can you sell just a V-neck T-shirt for like $200 or something?
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's what you have to do. Is you have to have that kind of a name.
Yeah.
But another thing, like I've thought of doing, is you can get like these little Post-it notes printed, like print a little my ideas. You know, you just put a title on it and a little happy character there. My ideas. It makes the backer feel brilliant. You gave them some Post-it notes, and this Post-it note might be cheap, but I think they'd really dig it. So that's what I mean. I'm looking for like cool little printed items that can be put in. And it makes you look like an idea man because you're encouraging them to have ideas, even though all their ideas are terrible. I'm kidding, people. Subscribe, like the video, subscribe.
It's okay because most of our ideas are terrible too.
Well, it's true. Yeah, mine too. You saw how many Post-its of mine go in the trash. Ooh.
Yeah, that's a thing that I struggled with ever since the Remind campaign, is just wanting to make all this extra stuff to go along with the book, because that's what killed me.
Oh, the extra stuff is what got you?
Yeah. Well, just continuing to add on things to give people, I just went under because of that.
Yeah.
And
well, I get close to that on every campaign too, because I'm always trying to get that perfect measure of freebies, but always make sure it's you have to add value. But I think most backers would probably rather have you forego all of the smaller items and just throw in another book, throw in a zine or something, break out another story or something. I've thought of that too. Just, guys, look, I'm going to give you a free graphic novel. I'm just going to throw another whole book in here.
Yeah.
Because, I have that one I have an unpublished book.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Forgot about that.
This is the robot one, not even Hicks and Bragg. That's another one that I'll never finish. Mm-hmm. But the robot one is done. It's like 180 pages, I think. I could throw that in.
Why haven't you published that one yet?
Just busy.
You're too busy.
I'm too busy to publish.
I understand.
To publish a finished book. I mean, I still have to get it colored is the thing, and I definitely want to color it. But I could raise the money to color it and easily offer that. Just here's a graphic novel. You like it? And just do softbound. Throw it in. It would increase the weight by so much. But I just say, look, this is the only stretch I'm going to get.
Doug, were you talking about adding your reprinting some of your previous catalog to start adding them to your Indiegogos?
Yeah,
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, I might make them separate Indigo. My problem, Mike, is I can't schedule them in. Because I'm doing 260-page books, it's even hard to reprint a book that's already done. Like, I don't have the bandwidth of I need like an in-house art director or something to just take all that on. Like I can't even find my InDesign files from Image on that back catalog. Like they're on some drive somewhere. So Mr. Phillips could probably find that, but it needs to be relettered. I would want to always add at least 16 pages to any old book.
Yeah.
That's just me. Even
Well,
if it's just
that
a
also
bunch of,
gets the people that have the old book to want to get the new copy.
yeah. I mean, most of my audience do not have my old books, period. And they're in a lot of ways, I think they'd actually enjoy those old books better. So there's no reason not to do it, and I need to get on it, but I almost need to hire like an in-house factory, maybe run those campaigns separate and hire a guy full-time just to work on the back library.
Could you do a reprint campaign where you start off with like your three?
That's what I would probably do. I want to start with Iron West, and then Earthboy Jacobus are probably two that would go over very well right away.
Yeah.
And it would reignite, the movie deals on them, stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you use BackerKit for your fulfillment or anything other than advertising, Doug?
Only advertising.
Only advertising? Because I asked because this time around I so when people go to fill out their surveys, I give them a shopping cart of a whole pile of new products.
Yeah.
Pages, art pages, and even brand new books like my sketchbook archive. Yeah. And it went over surprisingly well to offer that outside of the campaign. Yeah. Because if I had those, like you could pick a page as part of the tiers in the campaign, people don't know what page they're going to get. Maybe
that's right.
I have to clutter my campaign.
Yeah.
But if when I had it in BackerKit, I just put like 100
this
pages.
Page.
Yeah, just 100 pages on there with a description and a picture of it. And I sold way more. Like, so to give an example, in my last campaigns, I made about 1,000 to 3,000 on BackerKit.
Yeah.
Upselling people. And then this campaign, I just put everything onto BackerKit instead of having as bells and whistles on the campaign. And I made like $15,000 in
that's good.
And so I think for me, one of my strategies going forward is just to have my back catalog very, very obtainable, but always in BackerKit, always the upsell factor after the campaign's over.
Yeah.
So I see a huge potential for your book, obviously, doing that.
But you have stuff before Cithra, right?
Yeah, I have Remind.
He has Remind.
Why don't you just have a web store that you can send people
because
to?
I don't want to be fulfilling.
That is exactly why.
I just want to have a one-time deal where you can jump on this campaign. If you're in the campaign, you can get all these books. I even sold them for 50% off, like all my old stuff. And they were people were buying them left and right.
I get it. Because I have a web store and I freaking hate it. I didn't.
Yeah. You have to load up one envelope this week. And I'm like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah. It's just another thing to remember to do and make a note. And then you have to do it. And then it's just like, no, I just want to focus on the things I need to get done.
Well, it's another thing I always do on my business model is focus on what brings in big money instead of wasting your time on what brings in little money. Yeah. So I'm always trying to knock down, 100K instead of trying to extend my campaign for 3K. Yeah. And so I really study my tiers at the end of each campaign and see what brought in what. And so to me, it would be better to not have any add-ons that might bring in 15K. If I could just put out another book in the back library on a separate campaign, it would probably bring in 80K. Mm-hmm. So stay focused on what brings in that 80K, and everything else is clutter.
Yeah.
And so what happens over the years is you end up taking these bigger risks, right? That have, the failures are colossal because you don't make any money on something that you tried to get 200K for.
Yeah.
But suddenly from nowhere, comes $500,000.
Yeah.
And so that makes up for every bad year. So I'm saying it's already a very risky business. So just kind of lean into that risk and try and have more cracks at it over time. And that's worked a lot better for me. And it's something that I think makes my work distinct from other artists because they have to play small ball so often that they're always going to get small gains. And I just learned over a long period of time, I can't live on the small gains. So you have to go for the big taco. So focusing on just putting out another book is better than doing a small campaign or adding a bunch of small items to a campaign.
Yeah. But a book wouldn't be considered a small item, right?
It wouldn't be, right. So that's what I mean is that really does have the chance of blow. Like I could probably do a new Iron West in color,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe even break out or do Iron West and Earthboy Jacobus. But I needed to build up my audience. So my big thing right now is to try and flip all of these Earthworm Jim fans who are largely game fans and turn them into book fans.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is why I invested so much. It's not why, because I really love doing it, but it was the most important part of the campaign, was making sure that book would create a fan.
Yep.
Books.
No, I think it was very intelligent there.
Yeah. And of course the tar pits made fun of me, saying, "What's he doing? He's crazy."
Yeah. We've got a great deal of short-sighted, not that bright people.
I'm crazy rich.
Contending against us.
Yeah.
Right. That doesn't make any sense.
Sorry for my
We're
ignorance.
not doing what we're telling you to do.
What do you mean the tar pits, Doug?
Huh?
What do you mean by the tar pits?
Oh, they're the mastodons that stay back there because they don't know how to walk away from the tar pits. They stay in there and they tear each other apart.
Yeah. I didn't understand.
And we're off going to the valley.
I'm offline too much. I don't speak
Going to the valley of big fruit.
Yes.
Well, but you always, especially in crowdfunding, you always have to be leaning forward and trying to build a bigger, stable thing from the tiny straw you're given, right? With crowdfunding, because our audience is still tiny. I have 9,300 backers in Earthworm Jim, which is big compared to most campaigns, but it's still tiny compared to the actual potential audience.
Yeah, really. So true.
It's like hundreds of thousands of people haven't even heard of my books.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing with Earthworm Jim. They're like, I didn't know what he's been doing for 20 years. Oh, he's been making, I made 20 graphic novels.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Tell me more about it. Okay, yeah, let me show you what I do.
I'm curious, are you going to do the backer kit advertising on your next Bigfoot Bill campaign?
Yes.
Do you think it'll have the same effect, even though it's
No,
No.
it won't. But it'll have a good effect.
Yeah.
So on Earthworm Jim, I spent $30K on backer kit. I'd have been $35K on the marketing side and got $90,000 worth of backers.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's a weird threshold because you have to have it has to be a ton of people want it before it's worth doing. It's not worth doing on a tiny campaign.
Yeah.
It's worth it if you have 10 grand to spend. I do think it could bump up to 30K. And even still, my goal wasn't my big win wasn't that I got 90K. My big win was they got me people on my backer list. Like get hopefully
I just think you could have done better.
Yeah.
than they did, except you don't have the time to deal with it.
I don't have. Yeah, I do not. And I talk to a lot of marketing people, Mike, about what they charge and what they offer. And I just thought, you know what I really want? I want Backer Kit's mailing list for comics. And so Backer Kit, so other marketing firms will give you a better deal, quote unquote, but they do not have the list of backers that have put their credit card information into Indiegogo and Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't work for me. I actually did better on my own advertising than what.
Yeah, and I think if you're tight, if things are tight, then definitely do what you're doing on your own, because all they're doing is buying Facebook ads.
Yeah,
they're doing the same thing you're doing. And
they're buying it, but they don't understand the audience that I'm going for enough.
Yeah. And you know their system now, right? That they float out 10 ads.
Yeah.
And spend $100 on each ad.
Yeah.
And that's what they give you for free. And they use that to test which three are performing the best. And then they narrow it down to one, and they just buckle down on that one and blow it out. So if anyone can do that same technique.
Yep.
And a whole ton of the people, by the way, they asked for my own mailing list and names. And a lot of the people that came in, I already had. But the reason why I'm thankful that they did it is because you have to contact a lot of even your fans. It's like 3 to 5 times before they make the donation is the number they give. I try to reach them, and I swear the biggest comment that I get is, when did Earthworm Jim go up? I'm the biggest fan of your work. I follow everything you do. Do you sub to my YouTube channel? Yeah. Do you follow me on Twitter? Yeah. How could you not see me spamming you for 6 months straight? I just have a hard time believing this is news to you.
Yeah. Well, let me know when you have the perfect system worked out to reach these people.
Yeah, who knows? That's all of us figuring out mailing list. And
are you focusing on your mailing list now, Doug?
Yes, that's my number one.
Good. Because I saw you send out a link to it a couple times, and
and by the way, I'm not even sending out updates for the mailing list. I rarely send. I send maybe one email a month.
Yeah.
I don't want to chase people away.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I'm really keeping my powder dry on what I tell them, because I'm on a lot of mailing lists, and it's like spam central, where I'm always tempted to unclick, but I'm learning too much about what material they put out to unsubscribe.
Yeah, I've subscribed to some too, just to see what they do. And yeah, so much of it is like an email every day with just the same information, or a catalog of books again. And it's just like, really? This works? How does this work?
Yeah.
It's so spammy.
I think people are too lazy to unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it when I get an unsubscribe me email. And it's like, it's
at the bottom. Like, no, Mike, I have to make a statement to you.
Yep. People.
There's still a lot to learn, though, in this whole field, and we're just cracking the surface of it. I think you're going to see big changes.
You want to see the Red Scare?
What's the Red Scare?
It's the monster in my book.
Oh, look at that. That page is done, Mike. Send it to your colorist. I like Trump's tube ear. I like the tube ear. It looks like Shrek. That's glorious.
And bad. What?
Yeah, fix that thumb.
What thumb?
The one on the right.
Oh, this big one?
Yeah, that's jacked.
I know, but I want it to kind of be like gloopy, and
I like it.
I don't.
I just think that maybe the meaty part that connects to the thumb could be bigger, but yeah, I think that looks great.
Yeah, I want it to be kind of gloopy and slimy and like.
Then just hang some goo off the tip of it. But draw an appealing thumb, then hang some goo off the tip of it.
Ew.
Goo, red scare goo.
Red scare goo. Oh. So that's what I've gotten done so far. Sitting here talking to you guys.
Look at that. That's fast.
Yes. I'm not going near as fast, and I'm not even talking very much.
What's your excuse?
Comics Legend says, "Fix it, Mike. Listen to Doug." Doug knows I never listen to
Don't
anyone.
listen to that.
I'm good at criticizing other people's drawing. I just can't draw myself. I drew the worst card today, man. Oh man.
Doug, for everyone out there who thinks you're the Svengali to pulling my strings, could you tell them how much I don't listen to you?
Yeah. No artist should ever listen to another artist, but it's good to get feedback. That's all.
Yeah.
It's eating fish.
Yeah. Fun stuff. Yeah, I do wonder how fast I can get this whole project done. It's the story itself is only 22 pages, and I'm going to put some fun pinup art in the back. It's only going to be $10.
10 days, Mike.
10
2
days.
pages a day.
The whole thing, 10 days. Bam.
Two
Get it.
pages a day. You can do that. It's a week and a half.
I think I can.
Yeah.
I got to ink it all.
I know, but you need to lay off the inks, man.
I'm
Go
not going to do
easy.
the crazy inks.
People aren't going to buy that book for the detail.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm
you're
not,
wasting time. Wasting time. And I think it weakens your art.
but shut up. It will
It's stronger if you touch it less. Stronger.
details.
That's like saying, Mike, I know you've built your career doing it exactly the way you're doing it, but
Yeah.
don't do it that way anymore.
Quit it. Quit it. I'm trying to help you make money. Get you on your next book. Because the book is the big ticket item.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be sort of a open line
Good.
style, more like Josh Middleton line weights and stuff.
Just put up like a big, like an Eisner comic in front of you, Eisner book, or someone who just laid down a strong line and then left it. Put their work in front of, or Bill Watterson, that's what I always have in front of me. Just put a book that has a level of detail that you want to aim for that's slightly less than yours, and let that be your excuse to cut it off on certain panels.
Like George Perez.
Well, and I swear your work will get stronger. It absolutely will get stronger.
Just focus less on the deets.
Trust your principles. It will work.
I'm probably not going to do that, Doug.
Yeah, well, you should. I'm trying to help.
I know.
Yeah, in a year when you're done inking that thing, let me know how it goes.
I appreciate it. Jay says this is just a filler book. King Crow says, yep, I agree. More pages, less detail. Alita says, Mr. Miller, that Mr. Gervais was funny last night. I liked his Sandra Bullock introduction. Yeah, we're going to do that Ricky Gervais thing on Nerds of the Round Table tonight.
Oh, so good.
You want to come on?
What time's it at?
5, 8 your time?
I might be able to do that. There's I was going to try and bang out a couple more pages today just to get ahead. But
You are allowed to draw while we talk.
there's a Christian smokers group opening tonight
Christians.
at a cigar lounge, and I need to hook up with some more local Christians who smoke, because these Tennessee people don't know how to do it.
You got to go to
They're called the Holy Smokes. The
you
Holy
got to go to
Smokes.
San Jose to find smokers, man.
Yeah, the Holy Smokes Club.
Holy smokes!
That's what they're called. My kind
That's
of club.
hilarious.
It's actually a national organization. National. So we're national.
It's actually a denomination.
Yeah, it's actually a denomination. I will tithe to them.
They read out of the Old Testament with where God is a pillar of smoke.
Yeah. We're like this.
That's That's right. That's right. God blew smoke rings. It was really quite impressive.
Pillar of fire. Fire.
Let's see. Jay Hamilton thinks that sounds a little odd.
It's probably odd. I mean, if it's full of old men, I'll be happy. If they're a bunch of young hipsters, I won't tell them I'm one of them. I'll just go in and smoke and leave. I like old people.
Old people got no.
Nobody.
Ah, brother. Why did I do this in a crowd scene?
Yeah, I know. Dude,
Like,
you got to
you know
rework
what?
that.
You know where I should set this whole comic book?
Uh,
The inauguration.
yeah, why'd you do that? You could take that whole pile in the foreground and knock them out to black. You could do a clear silhouette.
These guys here?
Yeah. And the two people piled up at the top there aren't helping you at all. You could knock that one with the glasses out and just go with that taller one and just do the outline of her face. Knock it out, get some hands in the air. It would look really good.
Doug, you're
I'm art directing Mike.
Put Doug here in the background screaming.
That's actually Angie screaming at the kids.
I'm gonna have you at the inauguration, Doug.
I'm going to close my door. Hold on.
I know how much you love Trump. Doug is what we call a reticent Trump supporter.
Yeah.
Oh.
I like him. I'll vote for him all day. But man, let's not turn him into the North Star just yet, people. This ain't Abraham Lincoln. That's all I'm saying.
No.
I like him. I like everything he's done. So policy-wise, he's my guy.
That's why you vote. Policy.
That's right. That's right.
Ain't voting for a pope. My wife watched that Two Popes thing. She said,
Oh yeah, was it good?
she liked it. And she was explaining to me why Ratzinger retired when
Yeah.
popes don't freaking retire. And I always thought he was pushed out of office to make way for this communist dude.
Yeah.
But I guess he felt so guilty about not doing anything about the
Yeah.
hiding the molesters that he didn't feel he could be a
Yeah. Which is exactly why he should still be the Pope.
right.
I really liked Ratzinger. He was he's really one of the only Catholic popes I've ever liked. I read his work before he was the Pope.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like John Paul.
I didn't. I think
No?
he's a hack, crybaby, Bono putting his sunglasses on him. Smack those glasses off, Pope. Yeah, I really like Ratzinger. He wrote a lot on relativism, the philosophy of our time, and was saying how it will absolutely just take down the church and the earth. And he was prophetic. Called it the dictatorship of relativism,
Yeah.
which was a great phrase and true.
It's the title of your next book.
Yeah, it should be. Dictatorship of relativism.
Earthworm Jim 2, the dictatorship.
Yeah. Oh, come on. That'd be so good. I'd get so many Catholic backers from that. Oh, so good.
Let's see. And this right here is my guest star tackling Donald Trump.
Oh, look at that. That's a great sketch. I like your thumbnails.
Therapeutic. Yeah, Doug, next time you should have me do your pencils for you.
Oh. If I could find someone who could pencil like me, my problem is I'm such a mutt. I've got a lot of classic figure drawing, but I also got a ton of Chuck Jones and John Chris Felucci. anyone who's good at figure drawing doesn't do. And a lot of the John Kay people don't know how to put it in, how to tone it down.
Yeah. That's the thing, dude. There's a difference between you could tell a difference between somebody who knows their structure
Yeah.
and doesn't, even when they're doing cartoony stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Kay is actually really good. If he ever toned it down, he could have been even bigger. He kept going too far with it. But, Chuck Jones.
What has he been doing?
I don't know. He kind of went loopy and then they vanished him.
Yeah. I got a picture with me and him and Jill from like 1995, I think.
Oh, cool.
Comic-Con.
If you ever read his blog on cartooning and on bringing out like the classic principles of like what old background artists were doing and stuff, it is animation school, like a perfect blend of old school and his theory and stuff. And he really did. I mean, he taught a whole all the guys that worked on SpongeBob were all from Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, all of them. In fact, Vince Waller, who's like the main guy on Ren and Stimpy, he did a ton of the Earthworm Jim cartoon back in the day. Worked in Earthworm Jim.
Okay.
Those guys know cartoons like you can't believe, like just staging and how to present a gag and time out a gag and stuff.
Yeah, legit, dude. SpongeBob is freaking well written.
It is genius. That's all. And they have the storyboard artists, would write a lot of it. So like Derek Dryman and Mark O'Hare, who did the comic Citizen Dog. He went over to Illumination to work on Despicable Me and all that. I used to hang out. I was invited to a party by him at Ramirez, the political cartoonist's house in Orange County. We hung out. That guy's amazing too.
It'd be fun to try to draw in that style.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because I keep tightening up, and really cartooning wants you to loosen up, which is actually better for schedule. And often the characters have more life. They're more believably alive.
Yeah, well, throwing down a gesture,
Yeah.
is one thing. And finishing it out, always, it loses.
Yeah. You can kill a drawing. And usually I do. The more detail I do, the more I just kill it. I go, and I spent all day on it.
I don't know how I can break it because I love detail. I'm just a freaking detail horse. So
yeah, if all you do is detail and you're out of control of it and you're equally detailing everything, then it's not helping you. It's it's good to detail focal points or point of interest or whatever that needs to be detailed, but just to do uniform detail on everything is a really bad habit. Just look at Kirby.
So Doug, did you hired a guy, or you had a guy do the sketches from like page 150 or 130 on?
Yeah, I ended up going with Brett Bean. Who, he had done boards for me on VeggieTales back in the day. I ran into him at I was shopping at Comic-Con looking for guys. And at the same time I was talking, I had pages submitted by Shipman and Reagan Lodge and George Alakadopoulos and one other guy. I forgot his name. But it was really weird because they're all great artists on their own. But it was kind of, I really was looking for like kind of more of a layout guy to just put the composition down.
Yeah.
And Brett Bean had done so many storyboards for animated cartoon shows that I didn't care that the characters were way off model. He put them in the right place. And that's really more what I was looking for than someone really matching my style. And there was enough anatomy there that I could use it if I really needed it, but mostly it was just putting the character in the right place. So I redrew every page. But
my layouts.
Yeah, but my brain was so fried I couldn't even think. So like he did all the thinking on the layout side, and a lot of times that's the hardest part, to really pick where the camera goes and what's going to be the clearest staging. And so he totally just saved me, because even if I redid the layout, which I did that also, but I saw the first pass of what he did and go, oh, now I know what to do. So it's like, it's so much easier. And he penciled real light. So it was real easy to, if I needed to pull stuff out, I could just, and a lot of his stuff, I didn't even re-pencil it. I inked straight over his stuff and completely changed the whole thing, but I could see it so clearly because of what he already put down. I knew exactly where to put. I was able to ink over it instead of even re-pencil it.
What I find interesting is that like different artists are faster at different steps. Like Matt Broom.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long does it take you to do breakdowns on a page? And he's like, oh man, that's what takes forever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then he's like doing the finishes on it. He's like super fast at finishes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I can do full breakdowns on a page in like 45 minutes. We should probably team up and you do the finishes, because his finishes are hella crazy tight and beautiful and detailed, but somehow it's the breakdowns part that slows him down. Like I did David Williams one time hired me to do breakdowns for this like a 6-page story or something, or 11 pages. I don't remember what it was. And yeah, I just sat down and I banged them all out in one day for him.
Yeah.
And, I don't think he ever actually paid me, but that's beside the point. He's like, for him, that's like the excruciating, difficult part of comic book work. And for me, it's just like,
my comics would infinitely improve if I spent more time on layout. Infinite. It's really where I need to spend a lot more time. The next route of improvement needs to be on taking the time to do layouts. Mike Mignola, because he does so much chiaroscuro, and you look at all of his comics, and you go, why is that a perfect hand, on a panel? And it's because he spends all his time crafting that page before he ever comes close to inking.
Now I have to tell my story, except it makes it sound arrogant.
Okay, go.
Because
everything you say sounds arrogant, Mike.
I went to Mike Mignola one time. This is the first time I ever met him, and I was showing him my portfolio, and he got to a page where I had Shard from X Factor like holding a fence, like her hand weaved through a fence, like she's holding, the little
the chain link,
and he's just like just going on and on about that hand, and why can't I draw hands like that?
Oh, you got blessed.
He turns the page over, and I have the character doing something like weird like this right in front of the camera, and he's like, oh sure, he's like
yeah.
So
look at this. This is my Chew can that's signed by Mike Mignola that I got signed at Comic-Con.
Nice.
That's my inspiration. It's my.
You are my inspiration, Louis.
He really is like really big in my mind all the time.
Yeah, his sense of design is.
No one designs better than Mike Mignola. I just think he is the best designer, probably who ever lived in comics. There's other better illustrators or better whatever, but he really, when you think of who's got the most identifiable style in the history of comics, I mean, you look at his work and you just go, he and maybe Frank Miller really stand out as just kind of insane, but Mike Mignola is so much more careful than Frank Miller.
Well, you have to keep in mind Frank Frazetta did work in comics.
Yeah, he did, but I honestly, I've seen his have you seen his like animal cartoons that he did kind of in his Al Cap days? He did cartoony stuff.
No.
He did like, it's almost like Pogo looking stuff. But it's kind of camouflagey. And I've seen a lot of people do that kind of work. Like the guy that does Prince Valiant, I think is amazing. Those old Prince Valiant comics.
Yeah, I remember
You see him and you just go, oh, it's that guy.
that.
I think, or like Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein. You look at that and you go, okay, no one's ever done that.
Yeah, Wrightson. Oh my gosh. I could just stare at a page of his forever.
Yeah.
Who's your big influences, Brubaker? Brubaker.
Oh, I like all those guys. Wrightson and Mignola were huge influence. Chris Bocolo, Sam Keith. I was in love with Eric Larson for a long time
Oh, yeah.
until I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah. First time I saw him draw, I flipped out on his turkey grip. I go, what the heck is
Yep.
that?
It's so funny because there'll be people he holds a pen like this, right? And he'll
Yeah.
be sitting there sketching in front of somebody, and someone will be like, "Oh, you're left-handed," and he's like,
You noticed that? He has the most jacked up grip I've ever seen.
yeah. And he inks with a nib like that,
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Like poking the page. Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
It's true.
I'm not looking at reference while I'm drawing these trumps, so I will have to go back when I ink it and do better. What's going on over there? Why are those people turning into a giant monster?
Red scare. I'll show you the orange scare.
You think I'm afraid of these people? Get me a bomb.
I liked Tim Lim's new book, the Magalorian.
I shared that too.
It was so good. Oh man. And Baby Yoda looks like the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
it was just genius for farce. It was great.
Are you doing an Indiegogo for this one, Mike?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's our income, man.
Yeah. I guess it should be obvious to me by now.
Yeah. I need to fulfill Lone Star first, so I'm waiting on the colors on that. And I can get that out of my way. I'll be working on this while I'm doing that.
Uh-huh.
And then
That's how you do it.
Yep.
Hey, Stephen.
Hey,
Oh, hi guys.
it's Steven.
Were you hanging
I've
out?
been lurking for a while, just listening.
Sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
I've been focusing.
that's okay. No, I like listening to you guys.
The Trump impersonation.
Usually don't speak much anyway.
Well, now we can listen to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll continue to not say much.
Fill us in on what you're working on.
I'm just drawing comics. Hey, Mike. My name's Steven. Nice to meet you. I
Do Stephen, what do you
was
do?
googling you.
Oh, you were Googling me?
I draw a comic called. Yeah, I was googling you earlier, very creepily, but I draw a comic called Space Boy for Webtoons. But it's nice to meet you. Nice to hang out with you guys. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's Webtoons doing?
Oh, it's good. It's growing steadily, and I don't know. I'm still super curious about the whole grand experiment because their business model is it's interesting to me because they're not just trying to steal audiences from books or whatever. They're trying to steal audiences from like Netflix and the bigger things. That's the first time I've seen a comics company kind of go after bigger forms of entertainment and try to get kids involved and pull from there rather than just kind of have the sort of inbred comics distribution model we've had.
10 years ago, web comics seemed like the future,
Yeah. What happened?
but it was really just the Wild West.
Yeah.
Like, everybody had their own websites. You had to go to like top 10 web comics or an aggregator to find anything worth reading. But it seems like everyone's sort of funneled into like Webtoons and a couple of the other ones.
Comixology.
And then And then, you know, I look over and my daughter's reading web comics on her freaking phone. So it's like
Yeah,
it is a
it's cool.
it is an interesting experiment, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. But yeah, they have millions of readers. What, 10 million people downloaded Webtoons, the app? I think.
It got a lot, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
look at the comic book market. It's like 250,000 people.
Yeah. Carpets.
So there are comic book readers out there. There is a future for comic books. We just have to figure
That's right. Yeah.
Stephen, are you publishing your Webtoons material as a book when you're when you get a mass? Are you putting out a book?
Yeah, I've got the first 5 books out are out currently through Dark Horse.
Yep.
And
Oh yeah, I remember that deal.
more to come. Yeah.
And Dark Horse is
I
huge.
kind of wanted to. Oh yeah.
I mean, they're
I kind of wanted to jump on Doug because I wanted to. Oh, go ahead.
they're killer. They're one of my favorite publishers of all time.
Yeah. It was neat. We recently went, last about like 6 or 7 months ago, me and my wife went up to Seattle for a wedding, and I Googled it and realized that our hotel was a couple blocks from the Dark Horse offices. So I got to stop by and finally hang out with my editor and see the offices there. Pretty neat.
Still in Milwaukee, right?
What? No, Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, Washington.
You mean
Or
Washington? Yeah. Or
no.
yes.
Wait, Milwaukee. It's in Portland, isn't it?
They're not in Portland anymore.
Yeah, Portland.
Oh,
Sorry, not Seattle, but
Oh,
Portland.
okay. All right.
It was kind of interesting though, because you could tell they had like started in a small building, but then rather than build a big building, they just kept buying like little buildings next to them in this neighborhood. So you could see like their legal department was in like this floor above a comic book shop, and then their storage was down the way. And so it's like a huge publishing house, but they were distributed across a whole block. It's kind
Wow.
of nuts. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Hey, Stephen, I got Spaceboy 1 through 5 for my sons, and my old son, who's 11, just has devoured it
Oh, cool.
and asked for the next ones and stuff. So he loves it.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see. I'm excited to finish the comic, honestly. I was going to make all these ambitious goals for the new year, and then I was like, no, you need to focus on finishing the thing you started. And I got a lot less stressed out after that. I think we get greedy with our goals sometimes, and we're just like, I'm going to do everything.
Yeah.
And, in the end, if we just made simple goals, then that would be really impressive if we did it. And a lot less discouraging too.
Yeah, because then you have the sense of
So-
accomplishment that you finished something.
Right.
How many books is it going to be total?
I don't know. I have a contract for up to the first 8, and then an offer for up to 11. But I think I've done 13 or 14 at this point. It's been a while since I calculated it out, but it just keeps coming out. And that's the whole thing about Webtoons. It's just like produce as fast as you can.
Good.
So you are
Um,
thinking of wrapping up the story then?
Oh, I've been thinking about wrapping up the story since I started it, but it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Huh.
It's huge.
It's
I
blowing up
thought-
on you.
I thought you were just going to kind of keep going as long as Webtoons would run it.
Oh, no, I really want to finish, but
Yeah.
the problem is, at my best estimate, I can finish in 2 years, but I always estimate a little, like I said, greedy, and so
Yeah.
it'll probably be 4 years or something before I
Yeah.
finish. But I really want to get it done.
How many subs do you have on Webtoon?
I don't remember exactly. I think maybe 250,000 or 300,000.
Well, that's all.
Wow.
That's all. Just 250,000 reading a book, more than
Just-
anyone else,
just
more
it.
than any other comic on the
There's-
newsstands. That's all.
No, there's on Webtoons. There's people with 1 million subscribers. It's kind of like it's turned into a YouTube type of a feeling where there's like, wow, there's some really big players on Webtoon.
Yeah.
You got to just stick at it. I've got a couple things up there, but I kind of just let them flounder because I got lazy.
Well, it's also it's tough if I don't know. It's tough because the platform itself requires like uploading significant amounts of content, and so you kind of have to make some compromises if you want, like, about the quality of the work you want to put up. And I don't know. It's specifically geared towards a certain type of content. The platform really dictates some of the content.
Yeah.
So, but I did want to jump on, Doug, and say congratulations on Earthworm Jim. When I got it, I was amazed at the like gloriously insane production values.
Yeah.
So I wanted to congratulate you on that.
Obscene is how we.
Yeah, obscene.
Yeah.
We want you to get that obscene feeling. Thank you so much. I'm glad. Thanks for backing. I appreciate that, Stephen.
Yeah, man.
Very kind of my friends to support me.
I supported you too. Jeez.
Well, yeah, you're a given. You're in my pocket.
You are my inspiration. Oh, I'm like the only one paying attention to the chat. Hey, yeah, Mike, you did a little less detail. You could do more pages. Well, obviously.
Well, duh. That's obvious.
Yeah, leave it up to me to start a stream and not pay attention to anything.
Yeah, if Mike merely reduced his detail down to the level of a Darrow, he would do better. Darrow looks at Mike's comics and goes, "Man, detail."
What's wrong with that guy? Well, yeah, Jeff doesn't do any rendering, right? It's all just literally detail. Like,
Yeah.
there should be pebbles in this road, so I will draw it every
I will
pebble.
draw every pebble.
But he won't crosshatch it.
True.
Fly Frox Pro says he has a comic on Webtoons. It helps me to experiment and make sure I'm working on something.
True.
Awful Redneck says, Mike doing less detail? LOL.
Yeah.
I think my fans know me too well.
You can do it. I believe in you. Get an egg timer.
This will be unrendered though. This will be just pretty much all open stuff. So kind of like Darrow, but you know.
Yeah. And just spot your blacks. That doesn't take long to spot a black.
Yep.
What's I saw Michael Regina on Twitter saying hi. What's he doing?
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like we could get him to join if.
Sorry, you just gave me Seinfeld flashbacks. Regina?
No, he usually is in our usual web stream when we're together with Kazu and these guys. And who's the guy from Daniel from Germany?
Yeah, Daniel Lee.
Daniel.
I came on at a kind of a random time. I wasn't even planning on going that long, but then you guys showed up and made it good.
Keep you company, keep you working.
Yeah.
That's right.
Get the work hustling. I know.
I can only see the back end. Oh, sorry. I can only see the back end of the chat. Are we streaming through Is it Facebook?
No,
YouTube.
It's through YouTube with StreamYard, which kind of
Okay.
I like it I like it a lot.
Yeah, me too.
It's very simple.
That's why.
Cool.
You don't have to worry about all the OBS stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Are you using Restream at all?
I haven't used it yet. Only because I don't stream on Twitch or anything else, so
Yeah, I figured why the hell not. So I usually will only get like a couple people on D Live, and then once in a while I'll have someone on Twitch. But I'm on Twitch, D Live, Facebook, and YouTube, and it just makes it easy.
yeah, if I was trying to build those platforms, I would definitely try the Restream. But I guess at this point, I don't want to try to build a Twitch audience because I already have an audience on YouTube.
Yeah, you've got like how many now? 20-something thousand?
24, I think.
Man,
I need to. I want to hit that 30,000 mark so that I can have the, what is it? The subscribe, not script. What is it? Where you become a member? I guess they offer it at 30,000.
Oh, I have that.
You do?
yeah, I have that. Yeah, you should have.
You have memberships, Doug?
No, not memberships. I don't do memberships, but I mean, he can be a member.
No,
You know-
no. It's members, so people can become members of your channel.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
That's
I
my
got
other
it.
thing.
I
I'm keeping.
got it. I think I got it because if you're a gaming channel, you only have to have 1,000 subs, and I had previously done video games on my channel, so somehow I think
You fell into that
tricked
category.
the algorithm into thinking I was a gaming channel. You might just like in the categories section, like when you list your videos, just say that it's gaming a few times and see what happens. It's like entertainment, gaming. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I've already switched my channel settings so many times that YouTube is not letting me switch stuff anymore.
You've used that. You broke the button.
Yeah. Sorry, there's too many strange, weird title links to your channel. Oh well. No, so I'm not trying to like build anything new. I'm actually pulling away from a lot of things like Twitter, and I'm not going to do any social media this year.
Good man.
See how that works.
Yeah.
It works.
I'm not.
I got off
Yeah, I
it.
haven't been.
No, go ahead.
I got off it for a month and or 2 months. So productive, and then I
Yeah.
got back on it. So unproductive.
Yeah. I think the only thing I'll use Twitter for is just sending out invitations to like this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go on and look at the feed or anything.
Yeah, do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. And Instagram, I'm going to, since Instagram ended up being I took a poll of my audience and the fewest people came from Instagram out of everything.
Yeah, that's
Which
true.
was surprising to me because I felt like, well, this is for art, it's visual, but
Yeah.
nope, no one cares. So I'm not going to do Instagram either this year. So
No one goes to Instagram to find a link to click on. So that doesn't
Yeah.
forward to any of your businesses is my biggest problem with Instagram is
Yeah.
how do you shake that into people coming over?
Yeah. That's true. It doesn't help at all in that way.
Yeah, and then look at what was the Icarus and the Sun?
Yeah.
They had 2.3 million Instagram followers, and they had like 16,000 of them or something like that came over to buy the book.
Yeah.
That's such a tiny percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were fans of the guy. I think like his audience is in love with him, like the guy. More, it's not just like I'm clicking on his art. It's like they're fans of him. So
Yeah.
they were looking for him because I don't think you can't announce the book on your Instagram. He didn't. It's like they were already.
Well, you can because through Facebook you can do your Indiegogo ad through Facebook and then link it and it'll go into your Instagram.
Yeah.
Right, and then that's a clickable link.
Yeah.
So you can use your Instagram audience.
He got some kind of media through like BuzzFeed or something when his
Well, the Instagram
campaign-
audience, they're the freebie audience. They're not interested in buying anything.
Yeah.
Oh, lenses. Thank you. Lenses.
I wish I had someone bringing me food.
Oh, look at that.
Plate. So I grew up with this plate pattern in my house from the 70s.
Yeah.
And I don't know, my mom got rid of them decades ago, but I was at a Goodwill one time and I saw the plate pattern. They just had a whole stack. I'm like, mine.
Yeah. My childhood is back.
And dude, these things don't break. My kids
Yes.
have broken so many of the other dishes, and these are like those old unbreakable dishes. I'm like,
Yeah.
they still have not broken one of these.
That was a nostalgia buy, Mike. See?
Yeah. Hey, it works. The old ways are the best ways.
Jason, you're gonna be off social media, but is there some stuff you plan on promoting? Like you're going to have to promote, like, how are you going to promote without social media?
The biggest
Or-
ways that I've found audiences was blogs, YouTube videos, live streams. My mailing list is the best way to contact people that gets a response, and being on other people's podcasts.
Yeah, get on my channel, dude.
Hands down, that's like 90%
There
of
you
my
go.
audience growth is from all those sources.
Yeah, now that you're back, are
Social
you,
media was less than 1% with all of them combined. So I'm just like, why do it? You know, why spend that
I
time?
agree. That goes back to the spend
Especially
your
when it
time on what
distracts.
spend your time on what brings in the big bucks. And
Yeah.
social media has, at some point, now that you've built the audience, milking it is a matter of just like putting out 5 announcements a week for a month, and you
Yeah.
don't have to live on it all day. Living on it is how you build the audience, and then when you time to use it. So I feel like I've really maxed out at 13,000 subs on my channel. It's just
No way.
crawling.
dude?
Huh?
No way. There's 2 billion people on YouTube. You don't
No, I know, but it's not growing, because of the new algorithm. I mean, Jason, of your 20,000, how have you done over the last 2 or 3 months?
It's been slower the last 2 or 3 months for sure.
Like something happened.
Yeah, something changed because my subscribers got cut in half. About the growth got cut in half.
Yeah.
So it's growing, but it's slow. But I'm trying to get on other people's podcasts and
Yeah.
other shows now, just even outside of comics, just to kind of try to bring awareness to my stuff.
Yeah.
So that's
You
kind
can also
of
advertise on YouTube.
advertise.
Does that work, Mike? Because I've seen your ads.
Yeah, I've kind of stopped doing it because I noticed I was spending a lot of money.
But does it work?
I think so.
When do you advertise? Do you advertise your channel or do you advertise your work?
I was advertising my Lone Star book, and but here's the thing: is like what I should have been advertising is just my channel,
Yeah.
right? Like Steven
Huh.
Crowder, back when in the early times, YouTube would say, take one of your shows and advertise your show because you can drop your show in front of somebody else's show, and if they start watching it and they're interested in your show, they'll just keep watching your show, which could lead them to sub into your channel, right?
Yeah.
Your advertisement doesn't have to be like a minute-long advertisement. You could literally put like a 6-hour live stream in front of somebody else's show if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And if they don't click away from it, they're sitting there watching that and they're getting to know.
Just start the whole live stream with, we're going to really show live video footage of the Kim Kardashian Taylor Swift fight. It's going to be great. Isn't it great, guys? And everyone goes like, yeah, it's great. This is really exclusive video. Just start your whole show with that and see how long you can lead them on for 6 hours straight. We're going to get to that video. Right, guys? Right.
Yeah, so if there's someone, or if you can tailor a particular video that kind of introduces you and your channel and what you're about, and then ask people to come, click on the link and sub to your channel, probably the best use of advertising money on YouTube for building YouTube.
I've had other people bring up that I should do advertising, and they've done it, but every time I've tried it, it's like I spend so much money and then I don't see that much a return. And so
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong with it, but it just seems like allowing it to organically go and just make stuff that I enjoy making and then letting it organically grow. I mean,
Yeah, but that's the thing with the new algorithms. They're kind of keeping people they're not suggesting your videos as much as they used to and all that kind of garbage. So if they're not
but
going
how much do you want to pay? How much do you want to pay
I know.
to be on a platform that's not really going to even help you communicate with your subscribers, going forward? That's
True. So
that's kind of
so
the
even
way-
if you get what you want in subs, they're not going to drive people to your show.
Yeah. So I think I just want to keep making stuff, keep doing live streams whenever, and kind of use it as try to get people onto the mailing list as much as possible.
Yeah.
And as long as, as long as a couple hundred people are joining every month, that's new faces every month that are discovering my stuff, which was difficult to do years ago for me. So it's already outperforming, what I could have ever hoped for before, even though I'm not paying attention to it and not trying to play the algorithm games and stuff.
Yeah.
So
New world, and they keep changing the rules on us.
yeah. But I think I heard you, Doug, say that eventually you would like to get out of the business of making shows.
Yeah.
And just get back into the making books. And
Yeah, like
I think that's my mindset. It's like this is good for now, but I'm not trying to build myself on YouTube. I'm trying
if I want to do a show, like I want to do a proper YouTube show, like an actual talk show or like a Pee Wee's Playhouse or something where it's actually going. My goal is to make a YouTube show.
Yeah.
And it would never make money. So it's more a hobby thing. But I don't want to. I think I've gotten all of the marketing I'm going to get out of this platform, and it's very good for what it is. For my core backers, they need the show. But if I just did one episode a year, even it would be fine. Like when it's time to do a campaign, do a show, milk it, and then get off because it's.
Well, I got the idea. Well, actually, it was you, Mike, who gave me the idea of taking my past content and kind of making YouTube videos out of it. Mm-hmm. So I can say Remind and breaking it up into 5-minute chunks and just tell the whole story through YouTube videos. Do you remember telling me suggesting that?
Yeah.
And so I think that's kind of my strategy going forward is instead of being a YouTube personality, focus more on like creating content that is my content of the book in the books, you know? And I like that. I really like that because, there's going to be a lot of people who will stumble across that, who will never stumble across my book in a bookstore or a campaign,
Right.
And so for 2020, that's I'm trying to get Remind all online as a visual comic and, and Sithra as well.
And that's an interesting thing because as a comic, if you're doing these little 5-minute episodes, a way bigger percentage of the people clicking on the first one will click the second and the third, and they'll just be like, and then they'll come back to it to continue the story. Whereas doing a live stream or something, so or doing individual videos about individual topics or whatever, people might be like, oh yeah, I'm interested in that topic, and then they'll even sub to the channel maybe, but they're not going to come back and watch everything.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is a series. Steven could do the same thing with his web series, with the Webtoons stuff because it's already kind of set up for that.
Yeah.
Right. It's a fairly simple transition from Webtoons to a YouTube video,
Yeah.
So could be cool, dude.
Yeah. I really like that idea. So hopefully I can do it. I've attempted to start it, but it's failed. I need to just put a little more time into doing it, but I'm shifting my focus from the YouTube stuff that I did last year, like art review videos and
how to
might do interviews and stuff, but I don't know. I just don't want it to be like a thing that takes over my life more than
I just go for the low calorie show. Like just if I'm drawing, I'll point the camera down at the table and then invite some friends on.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be even trying to create robust entertainment. And I get the exact same feedback. I get the exact same number of clicks as I do when I'm trying to just put on killer content.
Yeah.
So I say, why not just phone it in? Have fun online have no effort, fun online, and
minimum effort.
And it's mostly about having friends on while I'm drawing so they keep me company. So I want to stay at my table longer.
That's the fun thing, dude. I mean, we're all sitting here drawing. It's just like being in a virtual studio somewhere and hanging out and talking shop.
Actually, that was where I got that from Jason. He was the first guy that had me on years ago on his channel. We were just staying up and just, it was like creative night. Wednesday nights, we just draw.
That's what I've been working on.
Oh, look at that.
Good.
Chicken. Crazy girl.
So stupid.
That looks psycho.
Is that all like halftone?
Yeah, it's like a what is it? A noise filter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was saying. It looks like noise. I was wondering if it was a halftone that's just not translating well, or
It looks worse on the screen, I think, as I zoom in. Yeah. But it print. What I'm trying to do is imitate old like film grain, and when I print it, it works pretty good. Especially like right now, it's real flat, but once I do lighting and stuff, it really works well.
I've done that. I've taken the noise filter, I created it as an overlay, and then I blew it up so it blurred,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it really looked like old. It created this old filmy kind of.
Yeah. That makes sense because because the grains are actually blurry.
Yeah.
Think about that. So far, in the test printing of this, it's so far it's been printing well. So don't think I'm going to mess with it. I'm really curious how it's going to look if I do offset printing,
Oh dear.
but we'll see.
Let's do a test before you pull the trigger on the printer.
Yeah, how do you do a test on if it's going to work offset printing?
You go to the offset printer and you buy a proof.
Oh, it's the wet proofs. Yeah.
Yeah, wet proof, and then and sometimes those get real expensive, but it's worth it. Just get 1 to 3 pages done, and it'll be a real good test.
That's a good idea. Yeah. Oh, man, I was not going to stream this long. I haven't eaten lunch, but I'm not hungry.
Yeah, so don't eat.
Whatever.
I didn't eat lunch either, and
Why
I'm not
eat?
hungry. I am hungry, but if I think about my drawing, I forget about hunger.
Yeah, isn't that the way it is though? I used to just before I was married, my wife would bring me food while I'm streaming. I would draw until I started getting the shakes because I'd just forget to eat, and it's like
That's how you do it, man.
yeah,
Work is my food.
until my
This
body.
feels like an episode of The Twilight Zone, where we all just like, Jason, you've been here forever.
Yeah, you think they're
where's your
talking about
family
an
now?
extra long. You think they're talking about an extra long work day, and they're like, "How long's it been? 26 years."
Well, it's weird because you just get absorbed in stuff, and as artists, we tend to do that. But that sort of thing, you heard about the kid I think it was in China, who literally died of starvation because he was playing an MMO.
Oh,
Wow.
And
Yeah.
he never got up to eat.
so see, we got a lot more starvation to go.
A lot more to go. We could push it further.
I've done it before when I was in like when I have a cold and I'm in like nasal pain, like my head's full of cement, and I'll go, you know what? I'm going to get up and draw, like because I can't sleep.
Mhm.
I'll just get up like at 3:30 in the morning, and I'll knock out a page and then go back to bed at 6 and then sleep like a baby. So I just figure if I'm going to stay awake, and then I realize while I'm drawing, I can't. I forgot about the discomfort.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I've been there.
It's a little bit tangential, but I've been really thinking about this lately in the terms of starving artists. I saw this video recently of what it's like to be a animator in Japan, and it broke my heart a little bit because
Because they're slaves.
yeah, literally some of the most talented people in the world, and that their first year, it's literally a concern of like, will they survive? Because they make something like $40 US per cut, and it can take them anywhere. Like if it's just characters talking, it could take 6 to 12 hours. But if it's a bigger scene, like it could take a couple days, and they're making like $300 to $500 US a month. And they had an interview with this girl, and what broke my heart a little bit was that like all she had was animation. Like it was, she knew it was bad. Like she didn't even know it was bad. She wouldn't call it bad. Like it was all she had. She had given her whole life to drawing, and so like she even though it was a miserable, hard life, like she wouldn't choose any other life because there wasn't any other place in the world where she could work like to
And
do
whole
the
time
thing
you're
that
going
she
like,
loved.
get a life.
And I'm just like, oh. So it's been sticking with me a little bit because and she was in a dormitory that was almost like it was like a charity thing started by some guy who was concerned for animators, and he's like, these guys are killing themselves out there, and so he started this dorm where it's only like $150 a month to live there, and they fundraise from crowdfunding to support these animators so that they can survive their first year or year and a half of working in the industry. And man, I
Gross.
don't
Think of
know.
all the hipsters.
I've been just thinking about that.
Think of all the hipsters buying that anime and creating that whole slave market.
Yeah.
They won't
I
buy a
don't
pair
know.
of
I love
tennis shoes.
animes.
They won't buy a pair of tennis shoes from Nike.
That's why I buy my anime from China because they're already used to it.
Those guys are rich.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I mean, maybe that is why I'm conflicted because I do enjoy anime a lot, but I don't know. It was pretty eye-opening to realize,
They
dang,
could
you
choose
guys
to
are
do
working.
something else. They can do something else.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to jump
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, my
All right.
layout's done. Anyways.
Wrap it up, man.
All right, guys. Thanks
All
for
right.
joining me. See you guys on YouTube.
All right, Justin.
Leaving comments, everybody.
Sup, y'all.
All right, see you guys later.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.